Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly bump. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now, I know I just launched my new website, which I made a little announcement on my August video for my August 2022 tarot readings. So we're going to be doing a similar concept with these weekly bumps. Okay, so these weekly bumps are going to be the same, but if you're a subscriber, and that's a subscriber of any tier, I've got 3 tiers on there. I'm going to be doing additional weekly comprehensives for the week. Okay, not as big as the monthlies, but they'll still be for your own zodiac sign. Okay, so I'm really excited about implementing that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun for us. We'll do this on Friday for the love energy readings as well, which I'm going to get started again this coming Friday. So any subscriber of any kind will have access to that each week. All right, so let's go ahead and pick piles. So we have 3 piles. Pile 1, we're using Fluorite. Pile 2, we're using Celestite. Pile 3, we're using a lemon calcite. So go ahead, pause the video if you want to take a moment to feel your way through this. Some people feel intuitively drawn, other people do not. It does not matter. If you don't feel intuitively drawn, I always say you can just randomly pick a pile and chances are there will be a useful message in there for you somewhere. All right? Timestamps in the description box and the comment thread down below for easy access. All right? Thank you so much, you guys. I love you. Have a great week. Take care. All right, pile number 1, you guys selected the Fluorite, so let's go ahead here and take a look. Okay, we have the 2 of Swords, Temperance, 3 of Coins reversed, 6 of Swords, 8 of Swords reversed, and the Fool. First of all, I'm loving the Temperance energy because it's giving me just really calm, cool, collected vibes. It's just not necessarily a week. I mean, not saying nothing's happening, but it's just you handle it really, really well. In fact, there may be a little bit of chaos, right? We're kind of coming off of that Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction. Mars is kind of making his way this week, getting closer and closer to Gemini. But I do still feel like maybe there's going to be some fallout from that. And like I say, you'll just be handling things really, really well. And you may even come to some kind of a crossroads of some kind where it's like you have some kind of a decision or some kind of split in your path, you know, where potentially you could go left, potentially you could go right. And yet I actually don't really see you making a big decision this week. I see you kind of just holding yourself back and actually delaying the decision making a little bit. And it's not that you're like trying to procrastinate or trying to push anybody off, but I just think that you're kind of at this position of having faith that it will kind of make itself, like the decision will just sort of make itself. Now, with the 6 of Swords, it does indicate to me an energy of movement. You're kind of moving toward a more peaceful place. You know, you're creating more peace in your life. You're creating more sustainability. You're creating more abundance. You know, you're kind of getting out of the woods here. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you kind of hold back on decisions right now. You're just kind of like, you know, I don't want to create more mess. I don't want to create more of anything that's really not going to serve me and my highest good. What I really want is just to have serenity and to have contentment. It's almost though you're kind of throwing your hands up in the air, not giving up, but just really saying, I'm done trying to create in this way. I'm done trying to create by continually deciding everything all the time. I think some of you are stepping into a more like feminine kind of energy, meaning more receptive and more surrendered. It's not better than a more masculine approach, by the way. It's just different. And I think that the world really supports a lot of that masculine energy, so much so that we got kind of out of balance. So you're not completely abandoning the more masculine approach, which is a little bit more ambitious and more penetrative, but you're leaning in more toward a flow state, finding a nice balance between both. And I definitely see that with temperance. And you're choosing your battles wisely, and you're saying, this is not a battle that I am going to deal with, right? This is not a battle that I am going to delve into. I'm just gonna let this one be. And I suspect Eight of Swords reverse that you're going to find is a substantial level of clarity in doing that. You're not going to get worked up. You're not going to get nervous. You're not going to get anxious. You're not going to feel confined or tied up. You're not going to feel that pressure because you refuse to allow things to pressure you. Right? I think that's what it is. I think you just refuse to let things make you feel that pressure. And then we have this Fool card, which is like up in the hills with the big billowy clouds, and there's all sorts of like fresh air, and it's just like it feels good up here. It feels good to not let myself be pressured by the things of the world that ultimately don't really matter. I actually think you're becoming really well attuned to like what's a deep illusion and what's a deep truth. So many things in this world are such deep illusions. We get so caught up and so wrapped up in things and we've placed so much meaning on things that we kind of lose our way a little bit. But I think you're kind of coming into a deeper reality. People may look at you and be like, wow, you're like literally in outer space, aren't you? And you're kind of like, kind of. Maybe kind of I am, but I'm also free. I'm also the embodiment of contentment and happiness. And I'm not going to be stressed, and I'm not going to be like bearing the weight of the world on my shoulders unnecessarily. I'm going to accept responsibility for what's mine, but I will not accept responsibility for anything other than that. If it's not mine, it's not mine. Five of Swords, Five of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Tower, Two of Wands, Three of Wands reversed, and Page of Cups. Well, the Tower, again, this is why I love the Temperance. Just so chill. Even when the Tower comes out, it's just like, okay, that Mars-Uranus thing may take a while to really unfold or really kind of come to fruition, and there may be some fallout of that, and I definitely see that with the Tower. The Tower is a really humbling experience, and it may be someone else's. Sometimes when you kind of take this step back approach and you really force people to hold themselves accountable for stuff, they feel it as a tower. It's really not a tower. It's just putting the accountability and the responsibility in the right hands. But if they're not used to it, they're going to feel it, and their whole little world and their whole little illusion is going to come crumbling down. I think you've had a lot of Tower energies lately. I think you've had a lot of these moments, which is why you're in this more calm state. This is why you're just sort of going day by day, one thing at a time, making things happen, and you're not allowing things to really get to you. And when you don't allow things to really get to you, I think it gets to other people. And I suspect that, you may be dealing with someone like that. We have the Five of Swords, which, I don't know, sometimes the Five of Swords can be a little like trickstery, where sometimes we play a little trick on ourselves or other people try to play tricks on us, a little bit of mental gymnastics here. But again, Two of Swords, I see you being able to really see through a lot of the BS. You see people in their weaknesses, you see people in their struggles, you see people in their vulnerabilities. And while you can be supportive and loving and all that, it's also their journey. So you maintain your strength, you maintain your power. And usually when people really are in their power and they walk into a room as though they are empowered, those that are in a state of disempowerment cower. And they feel that, and they feel like, whoa, there was a big energy shift in the room. I do sense an untouchability with you this week, and maybe for the rest of Leo season as we make our way through August, because you're definitely shedding some pretty big stuff. And when you go through that process of shedding, and you release, and sometimes with the Five of Cups, I often feel like it's a forgive and forget. Not necessarily because you want to, because it's more of a necessity than anything else. It's necessary for you to forgive and forget because there's no space on it for that boat. And there's a determination to get to that other side. So you don't have time to like sit there and be stressed. You don't have time to like half-ass anything. You don't have time to be kind of wallowing in anything. It's like, no, like I got to get up. I got to show up. I got to do my thing. And that's just what I'm going to do. And that's going to open up some pretty substantial new opportunities for you. I'm pretty sure that Ace of Wands is an incredibly positive new venture that is forming because of the new energy that you're putting out there, because of the new demands that you have on yourself and the environment around you. You're kind of demanding that you have a better life. You're demanding that you have more peace and more kindness and more love and more respect, just simply because of what you are and what you are being. Now, the Three of Wands is a suggestion that the ships are coming in. Now, when it's reversed, it does indicate to me a little bit of a delay on that stuff. That's not to be, that's to be expected. Usually when there's a tower situation, it takes a while for things to kind of respond to that. So I wouldn't freak out about the fact that things are not happening right away. It's going to be crucial for you to just keep going, knowing that the results will fill in, but they're going to be delayed because the earth operates much, much, much slower than your mind and your emotions, right? Your mind can carry you to outer space in like 0.0005 seconds. Your body can't travel to outer space that fast, or even across the country, right? But your head can go there. All right, so the physical world always is delayed, always. And this is also one of the things that you just don't get stressed about. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. It's going to work out in my favor. It's going to be well received. All the things. It's going to be great. Now, when the Page of Cups comes, I always look at the wave with this card. It's always like this big, huge wave just ready to crash over this little girl on this card. And when I see this in the reversal, I don't know that it's the most constructive. I kind of see it more tower-like. And I do think it's someone else. Now, Page is not always the most big energy or the biggest thing. It's more like a potential, or it's more someone who's got their foot in the door, but they're not entirely in. Someone who's just kind of walking around the perimeter of something and not fully committing. But see, that particular wave is going to come crashing down, and they're not going to be able to just kind of be half in or half-assed, right? They're not going to be able to play any games, right? I think a lot of people are facing some pretty harsh realities right now, but you've already come into your truth. Fool, you've already come into a place of authenticity and honesty. So when people it's like you're witnessing people coming into that, you've already been through it, so you get it. And you have a lot of compassion for it, but also not really a lot of patience for it either. It's kind of like, well, that's what needs to happen. Let's move on. That's where it needs to go. That's what needs to evolve. So that's it. You know, I do think you have kind of it's like a compassionate, but also a very harsh approach to stuff right now. You can feel for people, but not to the extent that you're going to let them get away with stuff, you know? And people, I think, are wanting to get away with stuff. 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups. You know, they're in kind of this weepy, mopey kind of place. They want to get away with stuff. They want to get away with like laziness or procrastination or something else. Like they just want to get away with it. And you're like, no, absolutely not. We're not going to lower our standards. Like if that's what you're going to do, then I'm going to separate myself from you. And I don't want to be affiliated with you. I don't want to work on this project with you. This just really isn't going to work. Right? It's just not, because I'm going to show up. I'm going to put my best forward. You know, Temperance, there's an angel here. Like this is divine stuff. And you have to like really be at that state of purity and be really putting your all into something, rather than just letting things just sort of seep through. Let's pull out some oracle cards for you. Starting with the wisdom of the oracle. We have milk and honey. Yeah, exactly. 6 of Swords, Temperance. You're headed toward a better place. There's no doubt. Toward the end of the rainbow. I mean, this really is about blessings. It really is about reward and results and actually having and enjoying the life that you are so powerfully creating right now. Fiery climax approaches. Well, yeah, with that Tower card, I don't know what's about to happen, but something's going to happen. Some conversation, some realization, something. But it's not going to be easy. Maybe for you, it's fine. But it's more likely that you're going to be witnessing this in other people. To be expected. To be expected the week after the Uranus North Node Mars conjunction. Okay? All right, pile number 1. Thank you guys so much. You know how much I love you. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you guys selected the Celestite. Let's go ahead and give these cards a shuffle real quick. Let's see what comes through for you. Okay. Death, the Hierophant, the Sun, 10 of Coins, Queen of Coins, and 8. Wow, okay. Wowza. That's just like a punch in the face there. Okay, so clearly there's some big stuff going on. I think you have a lot on the line. You're making some big changes, right? Death. You're tearing something apart. You're getting rid of something. You're purging something. You're eliminating something because your Hierophant, your inner guru, that's what I always call the Hierophant, your inner Buddha, your inner guru, that guardian inside of you that will always, always, always keep you fully aligned. You're clearly operating from that place of alignment. There's no doubt about it. And what you're doing may be scary. Like death is never a simple process. Of course, I just ruined this. It never feels safe, truly. It's scary because you have to let go of something that maybe has been in your life for a really long time. This is usually a process, and it usually like carries through in waves. And it's like this continual or gradual process of elimination. It's more about elimination than anything else, you know, and you have to eliminate the things that just really no longer, or the things that are prohibiting your self-expression is what I'm seeing with the Sun. You know, maybe you had some sort of clog in the drain here, you know, and you just really had to get that little snake thing and clear it out. Because it was preventing you from really being this shiny, sparkly, special, one of a kind, unique person, or doing something that was all of those qualities, or taking a path that embodied all of those qualities. The Sun is I love the sun with the Hierophant. Now that I'm like really looking at it, I'm like, wow, what a powerful duo. You know, to have this sun, which is so huge and so much gravity and so much warmth and so much light. You know, this is you stepping into your light. That is what the high priest is really pushing you toward. From this death process in toward the sun. You are going to maybe be finding a way to stand in the spotlight a little bit more, you know, at work. Maybe you're taking a little bit more responsibility. Maybe you're demanding a little bit more appreciation from people around you, or maybe you're exhibiting your skills and your talents in a way that demands more self-respect. Not self-respect, but like the respect of others is what I really meant to say. I don't know, like I think you're stepping into your power, and look at how lucrative it's going to be for you. 10 of coins, Queen of coins, Ace of coins. I mean, when it comes to the money side of things, these are like the best cards. 100% the best. If we got a 9 of coins, I'd be super, super happy, right? But I mean, we have like... First of all, if you're worried about money right now because maybe you're getting rid of something, right? Or you're walking away from something and you're getting uncomfortable, don't worry. It's all going to be good. It's all going to be taken care of. 10 of coins, you're safe, you're secure. Queen of coins, please have faith in your ability to grow things. Have faith in your ability to succeed. Right? Because I often call her my gardener. She's the one that knows how to plant seeds, and she understands that with the proper environment, which you're clearly providing, that you will bear fruit. And it will be more abundant than I think you can realize. I mean, abundance is just kind of smacking me in the face, you know? I mean, these are real punchy cards coming out as they are, but then with these on top of it, it's like, wow, this is really going to work out. Will it work out tomorrow or this week? Probably not. These are long-term projections, okay? Coins take a while to accumulate. This is not like fast turnaround, but this is the result of what happens when you stand in this sunlight or this spotlight. This is what happens when you speak from the heart or from the gut. This is what happens when you stop caring what people think. When you're not living in a state of imposter syndrome or fear or shame or guilt. When you're living aligned with this purity and this authenticity within yourself, you just have every opportunity at your disposal without a doubt, okay? Ace of coins, there's potential new growth with stuff. So I'm kind of like seeing old and new. There's like old stuff and new stuff, and there's this sort of crossover happening here. And the new stuff is going to be incredibly lucrative. Now, that was the word that I really hit home for July in my big July reading, but I also hit it home this August with the August reading that I published on Saturday. All right, lucrative pathways is kind of where we're at right now. Okay, so we have the shadow side, which is like the devil. So we have death and the devil right here. Knight of Wands, the moon reversed, 7 of Cups reversed, 9 of Cups, beautiful, and a King of Cups reversed. Okay, so I actually want to talk about this moon with the sun directly, like the moon is directly underneath. I get a feeling that you are coming out of a pretty dark phase of your life. Maybe the beginning of the year, maybe 2021 was tough. I mean, I don't think this goes so far back as to like the pandemic with 2020, although it might. But I kind of see like this weird, dark, dank, windy path. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this is headed. I don't know how I can, like I can't even get ahead of myself here. I can't even, let alone get ahead. I can't even catch up with myself here, right? But you're stepping out of that and you're stepping into this beautiful, warm sunlight. Because when I look at this death and the devil, really the shadow side, I mean, it's clear to me that you went through some experience. Now, I know this sounds kind of like a generic thing and that this is something that a tarot reader could say and it would apply to absolutely everybody. But I mean, this is a really different reading than pile 1. So for some reason, your dark night of the soul, your most recent one, that was really meaningful in terms of what you needed to go through for what's coming. That particular experience gave you such contrast in that kind of negative direction that now there's like a ricochet, or it's going to propel or launch you into more of an extreme in the good direction. We have good and bad. I know that's kind of those are bad words to use. I don't think those are the best words for me to be using, but hopefully it illustrates my point. It's about experiencing both sides of things. And it's like sometimes the more dark this gets, the brighter and warmer the light feels. So you're stepping into a period with this Knight of Wands, more and more gratitude, more and more joy, more appreciation for the world. Excuse me. Feeling more, I don't know, like you're just enjoying your life more. And the more relaxed you are, the more you enjoy your life, the more blessings you receive. And the more blessings you receive, oh my gosh, even more gratitude, more blessings, oh my gosh. And it's just going to kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the energy of the Knight of Wands. He's always on this path toward something better and pleasurable, and that brings more joy, and that's more meaningful, and that teaches him more. He's always in that state of expansion. He's Jupiterian, right? He's Sagittarian, so it's all Jupiter energy. But there's an extraordinary appreciation for life with the Knight of Wands. All aspects of life, everything is an adventure for a Knight of Wands. Literally everything, from the death and the devil to the sun and the Ace of Coins, right? Literally everything is seen to be a part of the fun. So even though this probably was not fun while you were going through it, this is probably going to be a time where you're going to say, all right, I'm starting to understand the ride of life, that it truly is just a ride, right? R-I-D-E. I feel like I'm having a hard time saying that word, a ride. But yes, this moon phase is sort of clearing out, the confusion also clearing out. There's a lot of these things that I feel are giving way to this top row. These reversals here, they're giving way to the Sun and the Ten of Coins. They're making room and creating space, where on one hand, at one point you were confused or not sure or scared. Now all of a sudden there's like this sense of surety, because you feel a lot more sure within yourself. You feel more sure about your skill, about your talent, about your knowledge, about the value that you bring to the table. And you're starting to say, you know what? I do have something good to offer. I do have good products. I do have good ideas. I do have, good things to offer to my romantic partner and to my children. Like I do have this great stuff, and my voice is relevant and it is important. And so I do sense you stepping a little bit more into your majesty, right? Your sense of royalty, your sense of divinity. And it's not about being an arrogant jerk, right? You'll still have compassion. You'll still have love. You'll still have joy. But you're also going to be strong and have firm boundaries as well. The thing I love about the sun, it's kind of like the sun, the light, the brightness of the light. It's like a mode of protection, right? Because only the people who are vibrating at that level can actually be in the presence of the sun, be in the presence of that light. So there's a lot of filtering going on, especially with this elimination process. Your light is becoming so bright that you are truly filtering out those that cannot stand in your brilliance. And for that, Nine of Cups, I love the Nine of Cups with the Knight of Wands, because there's that sort of mirrored message of abundance, mirrored message of being grateful. Now, this has a lot to do with your wishes coming true and actually having all the things that you say that you want. But it's not just, sometimes we get what we want And there's that notion of like, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. So you get what you want and then it's kind of sucks, you know, and you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's like that. I think it's going to be the opposite. You're going to get what you want and it's going to be so much better than you envisioned it being. It's going to be so much more, there'll be so much more love and more passion and more money and more enjoyment, more adventure, more everything. And you're like, wow, this is like, I didn't even know I could ask for this. I didn't even know I could create this. This is next level type stuff. And I do think you're headed into a phase like that because clearly with all these coins, there's something pretty significant going on for you. Okay. We have the King of Cups in the reversal as well. I'm feeling a sourness with that King of Cups. I don't really enjoy a king in the reversal because it's like a weakened divine masculine individual who really does not have the punch, you know, and they may be more operating in pride and arrogance, but it's pride and arrogance that is rooted in a deep-seated insecurity. And that insecurity is preventing actual progress and actual ambition and actual success. And yet they're still projecting arrogance. And it's gross. And I kind of feel like that's someone in your life or someone in your realm. You know, maybe you don't associate with them every day. Maybe they're not even really a friend. But I do think it's going to be someone that you're going to see. You're going to see people like that or a person like that. And you're going to be like, oh man, I really like. And the thing is, you may see a little bit of yourself in them. And that's going to be a motivator. That's part of the elimination, right? You're eliminating that aspect of yourself because you know that if you allow that insecurity, that fear, shame, guilt, whatever, to continue and to fester, that you'll never step into this light fully, maybe a little bit, but never fully. And that there will always be resistance and there will always be hesitation and that that's not truly what you deserve. And I think a lot of the world is really, you're forcing a lot of the world's voice to get out of your head. And with that comes great success and great reward for you. Okay, let's pull out some oracle cards. Beautiful reading. Really beautiful reading for you guys. Okay, so we have come to the edge. Yes. You're pushing things to an extreme right now. Like I say with that death card, you know, there is a risk. There is kind of an intense notion. This is scorpionic. So, you know, it does it is associated or affiliated with that intensity of life and pushing things to the brink. And, you know, sometimes there are big sacrifices that must occur, you know, that it's really destructive death. But when you can destroy something and you can walk in that line of fire, that's usually when the greatest rewards come out. Luck is on your side. Yeah, especially with this guy here for sure. Luck is on your side. You will notice luck. And I mean like actual luck, like out of nowhere, out of the blue. You'll be like, I didn't earn this, but you did earn it. Okay, you did earn it. You went through the experiences. You adjusted your vibration. You did all the healing. You did all the stuff. Don't think for 1 second that work, that luck was really just luck, although it may seem like it, because it may seem like it just comes out of thin air. It may seem like you don't deserve it, but you know, you do. Okay, you really, really, really do. All right? Thank you so much, Pile 2. Love the reading for you. Have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 3, you guys selected the lemon calcite. Let's go ahead and give these a quick shuffle. Just see what comes out for you guys. Okay. Ace of Swords, 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords. You guys saw me shuffle those, right? You saw me shuffle those. Okay, the Ace of Swords really is where the magic is for you guys. And this is, you know, the knowing the clarity of mind, the clarity of heart, and really operating from the most honorable place, from the place of highest dignity that you possibly can. Now, I love a Four of Swords because it does indicate a calmness, all right, that there is, kind of it's not frazzled. You're not all confused. You're not all in your head. Your head's not going a mile a minute, But I do suspect with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords that there's something brewing, and it could have to do with someone else. It's probably not all you. Clearly with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, there are other people involved that you kind of are needing to protect yourselves from to a degree, or maybe you feel like you need to defend yourself or you need to stand up for yourself. Maybe there is going to be some kind of conversation, discussion, argument that may feel kind of like it's going nowhere. And if that's the case, like if there's something in your life that feels like it's going nowhere, the question is are you spending too much time trying to defend something or trying to make something work or trying to give energy and attention to it? Like, are you the one that's doing all the heavy lifting right now when someone else is just kind of getting all in your face just because of some reason that you can't even figure out? Because I can't even really figure it out looking at these cards. I don't know why people are acting like this and why there's all this stress and this chaos and why everyone is projecting all over everybody else. It's just kind of this weird place. And you may see that a lot with other people and how they're interacting with others. But with the Seven of Swords, I do feel like sometimes the word betrayal comes out. Sometimes it's a self-betrayal. I often call it self-sabotage. Sometimes it's other people who betray you. And maybe that is the case. Maybe someone does something really stupid, or they say something stupid or hurtful. Maybe they don't mean it. I don't know. But I feel like there's stuff flying around for you guys. And it's like it's just the words and energy and actions. It's just like this big cloud of weird stuff going on. And you're just over here just trying your absolute best to just stay cool, calm, and collected and to not let anything really affect you. Now, with the Three of Swords, that may be hard with some things. Sometimes people say and do things that really cut to the bone, and they, it's like, oh, ouch. Like, that was really hard to hear. That was maybe it was not even a truth. I don't know. But it's like, man, that was just really hard to hear. Like, does this person really think that about me, or is this even really true? And so this is why, like, you being really, really attuned to yourself is so critical, because this is just noise. Just so much noise, and I don't know how productive or relevant or essential it is for you in any capacity. I think that it's just a big distraction from what you have going on and from what you ultimately want to be doing. And it's messy and it's exhausting. And this is often now in the traditional tarot, well, not the traditional, but the Rider-Waite tarot, the Four of Swords shows someone like laying down sleeping. It's kind of like take a nap. Sometimes you just want to escape. You want to run around the corner and find some alone time and just kind of be away from the noise. And that really may be your tendency to just go home, close your door, and just decompress. And maybe this is essential because it's like that push that you need to the chaos that you need to get on a specific track that you've been considering getting on for quite some time. I do feel like the next 5 months, August, September, October, November, December, with Uranus North Node conjunction happening for like the rest of the year, also in a square with Saturn, this is a window of time for us to really evolve and to change in the way that we want to. Some of us are experiencing a little bit more resistance, and others of us are needing a little bit more motivation. Like, this might be motivation for you to get out. Like, you got to get out of this. So I'm going to The universe is going to create a reason for you to really get out of this. And you are going to have to kind of exert your will here and really use your willpower and the power of your mind and the way that you understand, control over your thoughts. You may really need to use that to really tune all of this out. Because if you don't tune this out, it's really easy to get involved in all this, right? It's so easy to get into the chaos of things. See, 4 of Coins. I do see you really holding back or needing to hold back. There's the Strength. 6 of Wands, the World. Oh, lovely, the Chariot. Beautiful. So the 4 of Coins, I don't even think this is a bad thing. A lot of times I call this resistance or being kind of stodgy or stringent or, rigid, but I don't see that. I actually see that as a good thing, the 4 of Coins. Keeping to yourself, not getting involved. Now, I don't want to see you like that forever. Sometimes we do need to go through periods of this, though, especially if this is what's going on around, because this can be just really tempting, because maybe you'll hear someone say something and you just want to interject and set people straight, but it's not worth it. Like, if people are wrong about stuff, just let them be wrong. If they do something dumb, just let them deal with the consequences. I don't want to see you rushing in and trying to fix anything. Because I don't want to see you getting entangled. We have this karma card. Now, this is like judgment in the traditional tarot. But I like the word karma because it's that reminder that our actions actually bind us to things and it attaches us to new cords of destiny. And we don't want to be attaching our cords to things that are not productive or in our highest good. And when I say our highest good, I mean relationships that are fulfilling and with people that we genuinely love and that are not abusive, right? That help our bank accounts, that improve our lives. This stuff doesn't improve your life. So considering your karma actually is going to help you maintain this straight arrow, if you will. I'm kind of seeing it more like an arrow on a trajectory going straight forward. We want to make sure that you stay going straight forward and don't get distracted. Now we have this beautiful Strength card, which is really going to help with this a lot. This is like strength and courage and bravery and perseverance and being brave enough and strong enough and self-confident enough. Because people that don't have a lot of confidence when dealing with this, they're going to dive right into the center of this so that they can feel relevant. Because for some reason, they get a sense of significance from this. It's, obviously it's not real significance. It's just perceived significance. I see you consciously producing calm, consciously producing serenity, consciously producing, I hate to use the word drama, but like a drama-free environment. Sometimes people who say like, I hate drama are always the ones that like love the drama. And they always have drama in their life. They have so much drama to the fact that they actually have to say, I hate drama. People like me, I'm like, who has drama in their life? Like, what? That's just the difference. But it's just like you just really like over the drama, and it does feel like that. It feels overly exaggerated in people's whatever, and it just kind of is a turnoff for you. And 6 of Wands, I do clearly see you succeeding in this mission to really move on or to rise above and transcend, and if this is in the workplace, because often I see the 5 of Wands as being the work environment, especially if you work at a place that has a lot of office politics. If you are, let's say like, a mom that's really involved in like the PTA, or a parent that's really involved, and I don't even know what it's called. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm aging myself. I don't have children, so I don't really know. But like the school activities, and there's always that like cattiness with parents sometimes. It's just, I don't know. I just see you staying as far out as you possibly can, and being successful in that, and keeping your head in your own world, in your own space, and just getting your work done, and ultimately succeeding, and actually not just succeeding, but like winning. And I know that's not the goal. This is not a competition, but maybe it kind of is. This is a highly competitive energy as well. So maybe there is some quality of competition. Like you want to not only stay out of it, but you also want to kick everyone's butts too, right? You want to get the promotion. You want to sell the most. You want to fall in love and be happy, and you want to just be the most productive and the most efficient, and you want to have this great life. And that's maybe what's driving you. I felt this with pile 1 as well, that I feel like the universe is strategically putting situations in our life right now, specifically as motivation to get us away from things that are not going to be a part of our, like, the next chapter moving forward through 23, 24, and 25, and 26, really the next 4 years. The world is turning over, right? You're sort of teleporting into a new realm of existence here, and I think people can feel it. That's maybe why they're getting so triggered. It's hard to know that not everyone is destined for the same kinds of things as you are. Some people really do, I think, come to this earth to experience the difficult things like hatred, things like deprivation, starvation, right? Their souls are here because there's something that they needed to learn through that outlet, and we look on that, and sometimes we see it as something other than us. It's not really other than us, though. This is not really other than us. These are people exactly like us, who are on a similar life's mission, who are on a similar life's journey to learn and to evolve. But all of our lessons are different, and sometimes those lessons cannot run parallel, and your lessons and their lessons are just incompatible. So I see you recognizing that incompatibility while still honoring others' path, while still honoring what they need to do. But it has nothing to do with what you need to do. And acknowledging that your world does begin to change because you stop trying to change others, and even in a way, even stop trying to change yourself. You stop trying to change anything. And by stopping trying to change, you actually do change. And this chariot can carry you forward really far and really fast. And I do think there's going to be fast changes for you, for those of you who learn how to really eliminate that from your life. To stay cool, calm, and collected, to stay sharp, to stay abreast, to be able to cut through people's BS, to be able to really see. It's like to pierce through someone's exterior and see that wound that they're clearly operating from. So that's the only way that you can truly offer compassion, is by understanding the root of this current behavior. Doesn't mean you have to get messed up in it, though. But this is a week for you to push past it. It's a week for you to grow and to evolve beyond it. And that will be a continual process. It's not all going to happen all at once, but you're beginning to cut those karmic cords for sure. It does take great strength. Now, strength is a great card to get, but when it comes out, it means you have to have strength. So clearly a situation where strength is needed is, it is what it is. So let's pull out some oracle cards for you here. Co-create. There's a lot of co-creation going on. You just have to decide with whom you choose to co-create. Are you going to co-create with these people, or are you going to co-create with Spirit, God, the higher self? Chances are you're going to be consciously choosing to create with Spirit and consciously choosing to not co-create with these people or this person. You are good enough. See, the only reason to get messed up in this, now I'm not saying you can't like deal with this, but to get caught up in it, right? To get caught up in what people think and what they say and who says who about what and blah, 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 blah. Two totally different things. You can deal with it and you can also not participate in it simultaneously. But the only people who are getting caught up in this, like I said before, are those people who are really seeking significance, right? Because for whatever reason, they feel insignificant. So they try to dominate. They try to be someone that is worth changing for. They're like trying to change people, but it's just, I don't know, it's like a weird thing. Everyone's trying to change everybody. But you are good enough. This is not a game that people who feel good enough play. This is not the type of BS that they engage with. All right? So you're good enough for the life without that. You're good enough for the life of peace, for the life of prosperity, for the life of abundance. You're good enough for Spirit to work with. You are good enough to evolve. Remind yourself of that every day if you need to. If this is a real struggle for you, then this is your reminder, okay? All right, you guys. You know I love you. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.